could easily be a different result. Now, you can see these mute jammers going upstairs and a heavy emphasis placed on that roam over.
What is up, bras, and welcome back. Now in this video we are going to be bringing the Coconut Bra family 10 nutty tips and tricks that all happened with the game between FaZe Clan and Team Liquid. Now FaZe Clan has been absolutely demolishing lately, and if you guys haven't heard, Evil Geniuses is going to be playing against Penta in their first match, the quarterfinals. So it's possible we may very well see FaZe in the finals against either EG or Penta. I want to know what your guys' thoughts on that are. But anyways, this first Mira spot is pretty self-explanatory. I first saw this one from EG Gaming on Instagram. He's the one that taught me this. And then I saw it in this Pro League game. It's such a good area to watch over the staircase and the very common entrance point of master bedrooms. Overall, just a great Mira spot to mix in with your guys' dorm's defenses.
Because of the way that he plays the Twitch. He loves the F2. The drone is, of course, a pretty big part of it, but...
Alright, now for tip number 2, we are going to be in meeting hall, and what we normally see would be all these hatches reinforced. But what we had seen in this game was that they had actually opened up the hatch inside of meeting hall that's next to the stage, and from there they were able to create one of those really nice angles by leaving the top of this wall open where any attackers entering from the construction spawn. And you guys, I know this has happened to literally every Siege player. There's been a team that literally 5-stack rushes through construction tunnel. This is going to be a way to completely shut it off. If you shoot the shotgun angle right through the wall, you'll be able to see their feet, and if they're standing up, they won't be able to see you.
Maps they did last time around.
Both teams.
And now they will see if there's a different result for both teams.
It's just the same everything. Even the order we're playing them is just, I don't know how it gets there. I really don't, with the same.
Now this next tip, we got a double camera setup. As far as the first one goes, in small tower, I don't see this one surviving too long after the attackers drone it out or enter it. I imagine they'd find that one pretty easily, but it is a good indication if it does get destroyed or somebody is going to be able to see somebody enter, so you will know exactly where they're coming from, I guess. But this one right here is the nutty camera of the group. We are going to be putting this one inside of the drone hole, and from here you're going to be able to pretty much see the entire northwest side of the map, as well as a good chunk of meeting hall. This is a great one. Definitely keep this one in mind. You definitely do not want the defenders to have this level of intel on your guys' team.
One kill that FaZe needed to get control of that side, because as you can tell, the 3 remaining defenders are all on the western side of the building, 2 playing atop a white, 1 by big window. Knowing that there's likely not going to be a push through big window, Zig has now moved inside of kids' dorms.
So they've got the isolation, but now they have to confront the top of white stairs and big kids' dorms, and that's really a tall task.
Alright, so for a second Mira setup, up inside of the dorms, you can see here that I am not able to break the shelf with simple shot. I'm gonna need to use either an impact grenade or a nitrocell, and from here I hope that these 2 new Mira setups help you guys defend dorms the next time you guys play on Oregon. From here you can hold all kinds of nasty angles from any entrances coming from the east stairs. Of course, you are going to need to be cautious of the big double window and the west stairs coming up from behind you. So as long as you guys have enough coordination with your team, this is going to be a very, very dangerous Mira for any attackers to approach. Definitely going to throw them off guard.
In that scenario, when you've got Zig there, knowing that they're both going to push from top of white, you've got Zig sitting on the bomb so that if one of them tries to break free, Zig can possibly take that engagement. You have to question why Bullet was lying prone, daring to take that fight when he could have simply been putting his back to the reinforced barricade.
Anyway, we see the push coming in from the bottom of the main lobby stairs, and FaZe are a little bit hesitant right now. They are.
Alright, so this angle that we saw the Echo player holding literally went from the north wall of the map Oregon all the way towards the south wall on the same map. We're going to be in Big Tower using a shield to create a pixel peek, and it's going to be going through 3 sets of walls through Meeting Hall And then I'll even be able to break the wall that goes into classroom, and I will show you guys exactly what this looks like. The main reason for this angle is because it could completely throw them off guard if they have to make their way all the way over to this side of the map to clear this player out. He just has a simple rotate back down to sight. If they do not clear him out, then he's going to be holding angles on very common rotations as they approach downstairs through the lobby.
The basement, considering the scoreline.
There were a number of times where both teams would just simply neglect to push anybody playing in blue or in that side of church that gets close to blue out. So when you were pushing in through dirt tunnel, as you said, or through construction.
Alright you guys, now I hope you like Valkyrie. 4 out of the next 5 tips are gonna be Valkyrie placements for different cameras. So if you guys don't like Valkyrie or just don't care, don't want to waste your guys' time, you guys can feel free to just watch the other tip. But just to let you guys know, 4 out of the next 5 will be cam spots. This first one is going to be a nice place where you can chip out the top of the wall and you can get a couple different types of cameras depending on which room you want to watch more. I prefer this second camera because generally there's going to be less people behind the church wall, and if you get the camera a little bit more towards the side of Blue Hall, you'll be able to see it completely. The main time people are going to be pushing towards church is going to be through that doorway, and using this camera you can still watch that doorway on church, but at the same time have a main view of that big square area inside of Blue Hall.
But you could have potentially burned that with some flashes, etc. So there were options for Liquid to overcome that bit of adversity that faced throughout them, but they just weren't able to put it all together.
Yeah, instead they decided to just go very easily because PSK is still there halting the push. And he's out of gas canisters, but the shotgun and Legion Trap combination will get mapped. So
Alright, now this right here is a great way to slow anybody down in construction tunnel, pushing you guys in towards the armory. Now what's awesome about this tactic here is this also will work on literally any map ever. All we're going to be doing is placing a shield down and then putting Legion traps on either side of it. Now what's happening here is even if for some reason I go around the first one, by the time I vault over, I'm going to be landing directly on it because there's not really a way to land in many different other spots on the other side of a shield once you vault. If you can get the person to go and just straight walk up and vault over the shield, they're going to be landing on as many Legion traps that you placed. And as you guys could see from the clip, it obviously works.
Did he just shoot his camera?
I think he realized that. I think he realized at that point that the camera wasn't going to be of much use. Now, that camera that was just tossed up, why is that a good camera that was just tossed up?
So was that the one on the yellow window? I didn't catch it. So yeah, so it was the one on the yellow window. You can see through the yellow window and you can see outside, at least as far as I can recollect. So,
huge vision.
Yeah, huge vision. The windows used to be penetrable are not anymore, which means that you can't shoot it from outside. So lots of information, almost no exposure of the camera. The attackers are going to have to go in garage to catch it.
Now for our 8th tip, we are going to be doing more Valkyrie cameras, and these ones are going to be coming to us from the garage. Now if there's any new players or anybody that may not know about this, these windows on the garage are not completely useless. They are kind of one way. If you rappel outside, you can't really see inside. But if you can get a Valkyrie camera up here, or you can stand on the rails, you can actually look out of them. So it's kind of weird. They're kind of like one-way windows. One of my favorite ones is putting it closer to the north-hand side. And then, of course, that's going to help you hugely if you're ever unfortunate enough to defend upstairs in the bedroom.
To potentially stop the push. Astro was able to read that, was able to get a kill on the bottom of stairs, and then
now this one right here is such a simple camera. It's just going right over the hatch. But what's really cool about this one is it doesn't seem like you would be able to see a huge amount of the kitchen, but you actually can. And the reason for that is because you're looking underneath and through a lot of the countertops. For example, you can still see myself right here, even though I can't necessarily see the camera, just because it is at floor level. So maybe sometimes you won't be able to get a scan off, but that doesn't matter because you shouldn't be scanning people anyways, man. You need to be calling it out for your teammates.
On Clubhouse, the thing is, when you're droning a Clubhouse basement defense, you don't expect roamers, so
Right.
you often overlook corners, and that's why Adam was successful in the spot that he played in that corner.
Just very briefly, you get to a point where it's like you don't need to drone because you know teams that don't roam, but then of course in the very
Alright, now I know what you guys are thinking, that is the most obvious camera ever. Well, it's not really about the placement. If you guys look back at the clip, you guys will see that this camera actually took place halfway through the round, where Kitchen had already been gone through. I'm sure it was droned out and people went through it already. So the attackers assumed it was clear, and what we saw was a really sneaky camera that was thrown up after all of that was assumed. That way it kind of flies under the radar. He saved a camera and used it later on in the round when they assumed that you would be done placing cameras. Well, it actually wasn't. This right here is another little side trick that you can use on a lot of ceilings, especially inside of the kitchen. You can actually break just the bottom layer of the ceiling. As long as you don't go all the way through, you will be able to tuck away some nice cameras up inside of here, so keep that in mind. That's gonna wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this and learned something that you guys can start to implement today. I love you guys all. I'll see you guys all very soon in the next video. Have an awesome weekend. Peace.